What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. I hope you guys are doing well. Today we got some news about some of Activision's financials, and I want to talk about it today, and I want to talk about its potential impact on the future of Call of Duty. Now, when I saw these financials, none of them surprised me. I was not shocked to see the revenue growth that Call of Duty experienced or that Activision experienced between 2022 and 2023. This is all par for the course. But again, it is worth reiterating the potential downfalls of these types of revenues and this type of growth, and why I'm so adamant on this franchise changing course sooner rather than later. So let's get right into it. The tweet is from Charlie Intel. This is my #1 source for anything Call of Duty related. Honestly, follow them on Twitter. They're incredible. I can't say enough good things. So let's first and foremost look at the first 6 months of 2022. Now, if you're not familiar with how these balance sheets work, it's not a big deal. Okay, the main number that we're focusing on here is the column for Activision and then the rows that follow it. Because Activision, of course, as you all know, owns Call of Duty. So, net revenues by platform. Console, $816 million. No, not $816. No, that would be abysmal. No, this is millions of dollars, okay? PC made $221 million. About a quarter of what console makes. And that's not really surprising because there's just more console platforms that Call of Duty was out on, and you compare that to just PC being its own standalone revenue stream. Now, obviously, I could touch on the mobile aspect of this, where they're making $251 million, and I'm assuming that's just on COD Mobile. That's some insane numbers. Crazy numbers. And the other revenue is $22 million, which is negligible when we're talking about this much money. But still, $22 million is a lot of money. I would take that. I'd be happy with that. Which brings us a net revenue of $1,310 million for the first 6 months of 2022. Now, in contrast to that, we have 2023's numbers. Activision on console, their net revenue for the first 6 months of 2023, $1.089 billion. Now, this isn't a massive increase, but it's still 25%. It's still something that they should be proud of over there. They've been able to increase 25%. But they have increased by double on PC. From 221 million to 473 million on PC. Remember, PC was a quarter of the size of console revenue, and now they're almost half. That's crazy. And on top of this, mobile didn't really increase too much. They got up to 281 million, and other decreased by half and only made $11 million. But the net revenue for 2023 for the first 6 months was $1.854 billion. For those keeping track at home, that's like a 40% increase year over year in net revenue. Holy smokes. So what does this all mean? Why am I making a video about this? How can I turn this negatively on Call of Duty? By all accounts, it's very clear that Call of Duty is making record revenues, and this must be great for Call of Duty. Well, let's look at the quality of the game that we have this year. It's much better than the quality of the game we had last year. So that, first and foremost, should tell you a little bit about this growth, is that the community is happy, generally, that this is not Call of Duty Vanguard. But number two, the game still isn't up to par, and they're making this type of revenue. Imagine if they made a really good Call of Duty game. Imagine the revenues they'd hit then. But then we get into the problem, to the crux of this whole situation. Look at the revenue growth year over year. We've talked about all of the negative aspects of Modern Warfare 2 all year long. And despite all of those negatives, they were still able to generate a 50% revenue growth. That is incredible. But if the game is in this bad of shape now, imagine what happens as they see the money continuing to grow and the incentive to make good games fall by the wayside. We know that Modern Warfare 2 has problems, and it's had problems since launch, and it's had problems that probably should have been addressed months ago. But instead of them being changed, instead of course being corrected, we continue down this path, prioritize microtransactions, prioritize these bundles and these lackluster content releases. And what did we get? An increase of revenue, but a much less stable community. The community right now is incredibly divided. You have one section of the community that has quit the game altogether, another section of the community that want to be critical of the game, but still are hopeful that it could succeed, like myself. You have other members that just play the game like mindless zombies, and then you have other people that want to attack other members of the community who are critical of it. Call them bigots. I have been called a bigot for not liking Call of Duty. Not sure how being critical of Call of Duty makes me a bigot, but it's not an answer I can get for whatever reason. Either way, what I'm seeing is a lack of an incentive for Activision to actually strive for innovation, change, and growth, and instead revert those changes and pad their own pockets with all this microtransaction money. This has been the problem that I've talked about for months. This is the exact problem I foresaw. I never thought that revenues would drop. If I said it, I didn't believe it. This is the true path of Call of Duty now. They're going down a path that is all about inflating their profits and inflating their revenue, and then taking out parts of their development cycle that allows them to save some money so they can pad the shareholders' pockets even more. Watch. The overall quality of the games that we get from Call of Duty is going to continue to decline, but the revenues are going to continue to increase. The net profits are going to continue to increase. They do not reinvest any of this revenue into making the game better. Until I see massive changes moving forward, and maybe, hey, Modern Warfare 3 can prove me wrong. All it's going to take is a great beta, a great launch, and they can maybe make a believer out of me. But I'm going with the last 4 years, the track record that they have built for themselves. And I'll be honest, it's not very good. The quality of games has consistently declined while revenues are increasing. So what that leads me to believe is that while they can make worse games, they will be rewarded financially for that. That seems like a win-win for Activision. We are putting Activision in the driver's seat to actively make bad games and be rewarded for it and have zero consequences. Because again, what they've done is they've caused infighting with their own community. Those who don't want to play it so they don't think about it. Those who want to be critical of it and hope that it succeeds. Those who will just play anything because they're mindless drones. And then those who want to attack those who are critical of it. It's insane. What we need to do is come together as a community and see the writings on the wall for this franchise. The quality of games is dropping, and you should be aware of it. It should alarm you. It should piss you off. You should not want one of the best franchises ever to be in this position that it's in. While it is making great revenue, while it is being prosperous, you could say, from a financial aspect, it is turning its back to the community that helped build it. Less and less people are playing the games. You can see it from the Steam charts. The numbers are still steadily declining. I guarantee you the same can be said across consoles. Do you think that a lot of people are going out of their way to watch Modern Warfare 2 content on Twitch? Do you think big Twitch streamers are streaming Call of Duty right now? Not really. Very rarely. Because Activision has made it their mission to push away their audiences. To not have people stream the games. Because the games are unenjoyable. It's all about the microtransactions to Activision. As long as they can make some money off the microtransactions, they don't care about anything else. To them, it does not matter anymore. And that's just it. As much as I want to say that, hey, look at Call of Duty, it's in such a positive position. All these revenues are great for the community. I can't sit there and believe that. I can't regurgitate that lie to you guys. I have too much integrity for that. I see the direction. I work in business. I understand how businesses operate. Human beings want to follow the path of least resistance. That is what we are programmed to do. Whether you want to believe it or not, we will default to our lazy setting at a moment's notice. So do you think that Activision is putting their nose to the ground to try to make sure that they can make Call of Duty the most innovative IP out there, the most creative IP out there? No. What they're doing instead is they are taking the path of least resistance for maximum reward. They're not innovating. They're not pushing the boundaries of creativity. They are instead resorting to recycled game mechanics that don't work. They are resorting to ignoring their community. And on top of it, they're just flat out not making good games anymore. But they're able to get rewarded for it. So what does this all mean? Well, take it what you will. Maybe you think record revenues is a good thing. Maybe you think this means that we have some hope for Modern Warfare 3. Well, what I'll finish off this video with is actions speak louder than words. So Activision, time to show me some action. Show me a reason for me to be invested into this franchise again. That's all I have for you. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section, because this is absolutely a topic that I want to talk about, and I want to see your guys' side of it. So let me know, comment down below. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.